So it happens to be Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers, and I would say nurturers out there. I think, and Mother's Day can be a tender day for lots of different reasons. Maybe you've lost your mother. Maybe you wanted to be a mother and did not have the opportunity yet. Maybe you've got expectations around Mother's Day that aren't being met, right? Lots of different reasons why this might be a challenging day, or maybe it's a beautiful day. So however you're finding this day, this moment, I would like to just take a moment to celebrate motherhood, to celebrate my mother. And I also have I have two daughters, but my oldest daughter is getting married in about 3 weeks. And so there's, it's just an interesting phase of life, and I'm feeling really grateful for my role in this motherhood thing. So this is a blessing for the mother by Irish poet John O'Donoghue. I'm going to start with this morning. Mother, your voice learning to soothe your new child was the first home sound we hear before we could see. Your young eyes gazing on us was the first mirror where we glimpsed what to be seen could mean. Mother, your nearness tilled the air, an umbilical garden for the seeds of thought that stirred in our infant hearts. You nurtured and fostered this space to root all our quietly gathering intensity that could grow nowhere else. Mother, formed from the depths beneath your heart, you know us from the inside out. No deeds or seas or others could ever erase that. No deeds or seas or others could ever erase that. So will you just take a moment here this morning to arrive at your seat in your practice. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes and just turn your attention, your gaze inward. Noticing the presence of your breath in the body. And this movement, this wave-like motion, the rising of the in-breath and the falling of the out-breath. And we'll start to move a little bit here with this rhythm of the breath. So on your next inhale, go ahead and extend the arms all the way up alongside your ears, reaching up tall. And then as you exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. And then inhale, extend the arms directly forward out in front of you, and then open the arms out as wide as you can. And then exhale again, gather the hands back together and bring them to the heart. Inhale, stretch the arms directly up, reach fingertips to sky. And then exhale, release the arms back down, fingertips to the floor. Now let's do that again. Inhale, reach arms all the way out, wide and up. And then gathering the hands together at the heart center. And then stretch arms directly forward, fingertips out in front of you, and then open the arms as wide as you can. And then exhale, hands gather together at the heart. Good. Inhale, stretch arms directly up, fingertips to sky. And then exhale, release the arms back down. Good. And just start to feel this movement of the breath. Inhale, stretch arms back up. We're going to do this one more time. Reach tall. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Arms directly forward, fingertips out in front of you, and then open the arms as wide as you can, broad and spacious. And then exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale, stretch arms directly up, reach. And exhale, arms all the way back down. Good. And this time, let's stretch the right arm up alongside the ear, reach up tall. Come up and over into a side bend, side body stretch. And so opening up the right ribs and the side body, reaching through the fingertips, letting your head relax over toward the left shoulder. Good, and take another full breath here, feeling into that space between the right hip and the right fingertips. And then stretch the right arm back up, lengthen. Now bend your right elbow and bring the hand to the upper back. Reach your left arm up and over and hold the right elbow with the left hand. Take a full breath here. And then exhale over towards your left. So you're just doing a little gentle side bend, opening up the right shoulder and tricep. And you may not bend very far, and that's fine. Just feel your range of motion here, your edges, your boundaries. Good, last breath here. And then back up through center and release the elbow and take the arms back down. Okay. Inhale, left arm up, stretch it up tall. Come up and over, side bend, right hand can stay on the ground for support as you lengthen through the left arm and ribs and side body. Good. And just breathe here. Let the head relax over toward the right shoulder. Opening up this space along the left arm and the shoulder, the ribs, the side body. Make sure your breath is continuing to move through you. You're not holding the breath. And then extend the arm back up, reach up tall. Bend your left elbow, hand to the upper back. Right hand comes over to the left elbow. And you're just going to give a gentle pull and come into your side bend, opening up your left shoulder, ribs, and side body. Good. Take one more full breath here. We're not forcing anything. We're just inviting some space. And then come back up through center. Let your elbow go. Release the arms down. Bring your hands behind you and uncross your legs, bringing the soles of your feet to the ground. And then we're going to windshield wiper the knees side to side. So just take your time here, moving the knees side to side. last one here. And then coming forward now to the hands and the knees. So as you come forward, we'll start to move here through cat-cow. And so just notice here your hands and your knees on the ground. If you need a little bit of extra cushion or padding, you can double up your mat on either side. As you inhale, open up your heart, lift through your tailbone, let your belly drop a little bit and look forward. And as you exhale, tuck through your tailbone and round your spine, chin to chest. But inhale, open up through your heart. And then exhale, round through your spine. Good. One more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come back to center, back to that neutral spine. And then make your way into a downward facing dog. So lifting the knees off of the mat, pushing into the ground with your hands, a little pedaling through your feet here, opening up your calves and your hamstrings and your back body. And in all of the poses that we navigate today, balancing your effort with your ease. Okay, so enough engagement and effort and structure to be able to support the posture, but also enough ease so that it can be malleable and that you can breathe deeply. And in yoga terms, we call these two things sukha and sthira. Sukha representing the ease or the sweetness of the pose, and sthira representing the effort, the engagement, the structure. And something you just kind of have to feel in your own body, your own experience. So let's take one more breath here in downward dog. And then bend your knees and look forward toward the hands, and we'll step or hop forward toward the top of the mat. Coming into a standing forward fold. As you inhale, flat back. So lengthen your spine, extend your crown forward. You can put a little bend in your knees here. Exhale, fold, and bring it in. Good. Hang out here for just a couple of breaths. Shake your head, no. Or nod your head, yes. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck or your jaw, your shoulders. Good. One more full breath here. And then let's go ahead and come all the way up to standing. So ground your feet, stretch and lengthen up through the arms and reach tall. And then exhale the hands together, heart center. Let's pause here for just a moment, maybe letting the eyes close, feeling your feet on the ground, a little lengthening up through the crown of the head toward the ceiling, toward the sky. In this Tadasana mountain pose, take one more breath. And then exhale, let's release the arms down. Inhale, arms reach up, long and lengthened. As you exhale, bend your elbows and open up your chest just a little bit. Doesn't have to be huge, just a little spinal extension. And then inhale, stretch the arms back up. And then exhale into your forward fold, or what we call Uttanasana. You can let your knees bend. Flat back as you inhale, so that Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. All the way back up to standing as you inhale. So feet root down, stretch up, reach tall, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Good. Arms go back up on in-breath. Stretch up and lengthen. Exhale, bend your elbows and open up your chest. Little extension. Reach arms back up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your in-breath. Lengthen out your spine. And then take hands down to the floor this time and step your way to plank for upper push-up. Pause here for just a couple of breaths. You can always come down to the knees. But also challenging yourself and building a little bit of heat and strength, and remembering to balance ease and effort. Okay, so take another full breath. Good. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. So upper to lower push-up and then come all the way down to your belly. Open up into a cobra pose. So shoulders back, heart forward. Stay an extra breath. Pull the chest and the rib cage forward. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Hips to sky. Root through your palms. Let your head go. Let your head and your neck relax. Good. It's fine to keep a little bend in your knees here in down dog. More important than straight legs is a straight spine in down dog. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit in order to stretch and lengthen out your spine, then just experiment with that a little bit. Sometimes if our hamstrings are tight, we straighten the legs out. That causes the spine to come into flexion or rounding. So just feel into that in your own experience. Take one more breath. Bend your knees and look forward, step or hop top of the yoga mat. Flat back as you inhale, so lengthen out your spine. Exhale, fold. Good. Bend your knees, so you're going to set your weight back a little bit towards your heels. And try to get your thighs almost parallel with the ground. So bend your knees a lot. Strong through your core. Extend the arms forward and up. Chair pose. Good. Take another full breath. See if you can pull your shins and your knees back just a little bit. Same thing with your thighs. Bend your elbows. We're going to goalpost the arms here. Open up your chest. Stay for an extra breath. And then stay in chair pose. We're going to drop the arms down. Clasp your hands behind your back. Knees and thighs stay level and parallel. Pull your shoulders back, lift your chest up. Stay for 2 more breaths. Kind of telescoping up through the rib cage and your heart. Sit a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the clasp if you can and let your hands come overhead. If that's kind of out of the cards this morning, just bring your fingertips down toward the floor. Take another breath here. Release gently your clasp and bring your hands down. Now, flat back as you inhale, long and lengthened spine. Take hands to the floor, step to plank, upper push-up. Again, lower down, chaturanga. Lower on your exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, opening the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg in the air, stretch it up. So 3-legged down dog. Keep your shoulders, your hips pretty level here. Push through both hands. Reach the right toes back and up a little higher. Bend your right leg. Lift your right knee and hip up. So you're opening up the hip here. Try not to compromise your left foot on the ground. So your right heel moves towards your left glute. And then step right foot through. We're going to come into a high lunge position. Okay, so this means that your hips are squaring off toward the front of the room. Your back heel is lifted. All 10 toes facing forward, and then we'll send the arms up. So again, enough effort, but also inviting some ease, even in a lunge like this. Take another breath. On your next exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, goalpost the arms like we've been doing, bend the back knee at a hover, and open up your chest. Good. And then straighten up your back leg, reach the arms up, lengthen. Now as you exhale, arms are going to come down, chest and belly towards your right thigh, crown forward. And then inhale, come back up to your high lunge. Okay, we're going to kind of go through this little mini flow here. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your back knee at a hover, open your chest. Inhale, stretch the arms back up, straighten up your back leg. And then exhale, arms down, chest and belly towards your right thigh. Stay in your lunge. Let's do this one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your back knee, open your chest a little bit. Inhale, straighten that back leg, reach arms up. Now as you exhale, arms come down, chest and belly to thigh. Now option here to pick up your back leg, warrior three pose. It's a standing balance. You can always bring your hands to the ground or the thigh, or you could kind of go the extra mile here and extend the arms forward alongside your ears. Breathe, everybody. Take one more breath. Whew. Okay, with control, very gently step your left foot to the back of your mat and extend your arms up. Are you ready for this to be over, this part? Okay. So ground your back heel and turn the toes toward the left side of your mat. Take the arms out wide like this. Take a breath here, stretch, feet are parallel. And then exhale, come into a wide straddle forward fold. The knees can be bent a little bit. Again, check out your feet. Your feet should be about as wide as your wingspan. Right? So if you were to take your arms out, your feet about underneath where your wrists are, or your palms, but don't stress too much about that. Let's come into what version works for you today. Balancing ease and effort. Take a couple more breaths here. Good. Feel the ground firmly through your feet. Lengthen out your spine as you inhale. Good. And then walk your hands back up toward the top of your mat. Walk them back up. Step your right foot back to plank. Side plank or Vashisthasana. Shift your weight over to your right hand, your right palm. Send your left arm up. Push the ground away, pull your hips up. Again, you can always come down to the right knee or the right forearm for this side plank. Stretch your left arm forward alongside your ear. So reach your left fingertips toward the front of the room. Stretch through the left side body. Maybe float your left leg up away from your right leg, kind of like a pair of scissors. Take another breath. Good. Bring it all the way back. Plank pose. Upper push up, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and then downward facing dog. Good, just take a moment, feel your breath. And then your next inhale, stretch your left leg back, reach it up. Three-legged dog. Take another breath here. Reach through your left toes, lengthen. Bend your left leg. Lift your left hip and left knee up. So you're kind of pointing that left knee out to the left. Left heel toward the right glute. Take another breath. Good. And then step left foot through. Again, let's come into that high lunge position. So just take a moment to get your bearings. Left knee stacked over that ankle, square off the hips, back heel lifted, all 10 toes facing forward, and then send the arms up. It's okay to put a little bend in that back knee. Take another full breath here. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your back knee at a hover, and then open your chest. Good. Straighten up your back leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, arms down and back, chest and belly toward your left thigh. Inhale, bring the arms and the torso back up, back to your high lunge with control. Exhale, bend your elbows and bend your back knee, open your chest. Inhale, stretch arms back up, lengthen. Exhale, arms down, chest and belly to left thigh. Good. One more of these. Inhale, reach up. Feel into each breath. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your back knee and open. Inhale, reach back up. Now remember this, we're going to come down with the option of floating this back leg up off of the mat, warrior 3 balance. Arms can be back along your sides, fingertips can be on the floor, or hands to left thigh, or maybe you stretch the arms forward alongside your ears. 2 more breaths, you guys can do it. Reach through your back leg. Gently step right foot to the back of the mat, back up to your high lunge, and then you're going to open up toward the right side of your mat. Take the arms out wide. So feet parallel. Look down at your feet and check out your wingspan. So I'm going to bring the feet kind of underneath your hands here. And then exhale, let's come into a forward fold. Fingertips down toward the floor. Good. Now, maybe here you choose to unweight your hands and bring your hands behind your back, maybe clasp them and come into a different version of this pose, or you can just keep your hands on the floor. Take another breath here. And gently release your clasp if you've got it. Flat back as you inhale. And walk your hands back up to the top of your mat. Step to plank pose. Side plank, Vashisthasana. So shift your weight over to your left hand. Roll to that pinky toe side of your left foot and send your right arm up. Pull your hips up away from the floor. Left shoulder down away from the ear. Good. Stretch your right arm forward alongside your ear. Reach through your right fingertips. Pull hips up. Good, you guys. And then maybe lift your right leg up. The higher your hips are, the easier this is. Last breath. Back to regular plank, upward push-up. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job, everybody. Come down to your knees for dolphin. So your forearm. Okay, so I heard an audible grumpiness in the room. Did you guys hear that on Zoom or on Facebook Live? Maybe you're doing it yourself. Anyway, we're doing it, and just because you complained audibly, we're going to do a 3-minute dolphin. Okay, so come down. So if you've never done dolphin before, let's just do a little tutorial. It's like down dog on your forearms. So elbows and forearms down to the floor, parallel, shoulder width apart. Okay, now we just want to make sure that the elbows don't go wider than the shoulders. A way to to mitigate that a little bit is to clasp the hands and make a tripod. So you can do that if you want. Your head is not touching the ground in dolphin. And I will do this with you. All right, I'm even going to set my alarm. Set my alarm for 3 minutes. Okay, and everybody begin. Dolphin pose, knees off of the mat. Tiptoe forward towards your face.
Your alarm is set for 9:20 a.m.
Okay, so here we go. Let's just go for this ride together, you guys. So a couple of things. You can have your knees fairly bent here. We really want to, again, balance effort and ease. So squeeze your forearms and elbows toward midline isometrically. Okay, they're not going to move, but they're just going to keep that energy moving toward your center. Let your head go. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. And so you could easily like nod your head or shake your head. And so you're not squeezing the shoulders and upper trapezius toward your neck. So now, tiptoe forward a little bit toward your face if you can. So ultimately, we're trying to move the hips over the shoulders. Now you can always come down into child's pose and rest at any point. Extend, if you'd like, your right leg in the air. This is just a different way to work with this dolphin. And the leg in the air might help pull the energy upward. Okay? If that's a little much, then please just let it go. All right, maybe switch legs here. Left leg in the air. Breathe into those areas that you might be feeling the most angst or the most fatigue here. Maybe bring that left foot down. Sometimes I like to take my feet out wide to about the width of the mat, so you could try that. And one reason why we hold dolphin is to kind of be with what's uncomfortable, right? So that's part of the practice, is to try to breathe. Oh, we're done, guys. Whoa, that went faster than I thought. Maybe not for you. Your time's up. 3 minutes are over. Were you guys all in child's pose anyway? I think you were. All right, good job. Child's pose. Come on down to your knees and sit on back. Good, so we're gonna come into one of my favorite stretches here, post dolphin. So come back up to hands and knees. Walk your hands over to the left off of your yoga mat. So both hands are to the left side of your mat. And then go ahead and pull your hips back and to the right. So you're in kind of a crescent-shaped child's pose or puppy pose, targeting the right arm, shoulder, ribs, waistline, and outer hip. Good, and last breath here. And back up and switch sides. So walk your hands now over to the right, off of your mat, the right side of your mat, and then the hips are gonna kind of pull back and down towards the back left corner. So now you're targeting your left arm and shoulder and ribs and waistline and outer hip, that entire left side body. Good. Take another full breath here. Come back up. And come back through to center and make your way into downward facing dog. Never do we have more gratitude for downward facing dog than after dolphin pose. Take your right leg in the air, reach it up. Bend your leg once again and open up your hip. Little stretch. Now step your right foot all the way through. We're coming into a warrior two position. Okay, so strong lunge on that right leg. Send the arms out wide. So your arms are parallel with the ground. Okay, just extending out from the shoulders. Find that place here. The pelvis is pretty level. Arms reaching out, shoulders away from the ears. Take another breath. Arms come down. Let's clasp the hands behind the back and open up the shoulders. This is a pose we call ostrich. So shoulders back with the chest up. Drop down so your right shoulder drops to the inside of the right knee if possible. The head relaxes down. Now keep the clasp if you can or if you want, or you can always release the clasp and bring your hands down for more support. Either way is fine. We're feeling for a stretch here in the hips, the right hip, and also the shoulders, the upper back. Take another breath. Good. Now, let's go ahead and come back up to warrior two pose. Re-extend the arms. Take your right arm and go straight up. Right arm straight up alongside your ear. Bend your right elbow, hand to the upper back. Remember this thing we did at the beginning of practice? Left hand to right elbow. Stay in your lunge. And then start to lean back. This is a variation of reverse warrior. Opening through the right tricep and side body and shoulder. Maybe keep it there, or take your left arm down behind your back and maybe clasp your hands behind your back. This is not required, it's just an option. You're going to take 2 more breaths here. Deepen into your lunge a little bit. You can do it. Lean back a little bit. Open up his shoulder and tricep. Release out of that. Unwind. Back to warrior two, and then straighten up front leg. Whew. Setting up for triangle. Getting some dirty looks. Reach forward, and then right hand down to the shin. Triangle pose. Left arm goes straight up. Fingertips toward the sky. Open up your chest here in triangle. Root down through that back foot, lengthen forward through the spine and through the crown of your head. 2 more breaths here. Good. 1 more standing balance. We're going to turn this into half moon. Look down at the floor. Bend into that front leg. Pick up this back leg. So it's kind of like a cartwheel that's been frozen, like paused. So your right hand could be on the block, on a block, or if you have a chair handy or something that you can hold on to, that's great. Float your back leg up a little bit higher. Active through your left toes. Open your chest. Take 1 more breath. Beautiful, guys. Left hand down. Step it all the way back to your lunge. Now, back knee is going to come down to the ground. Shift both hands to the inside of your right foot. Okay, both hands to the inside of your right foot. You can inch your right foot over toward the right side of your mat. I'm going to talk you through a couple of options here. Maybe this is where you stay, or you could do one of 2 things or both things. Drop down to your forearms so you get closer to the ground, or you could pick up your back knee and lift your hips up higher. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can look up here.
Okay, so you're coming into a version of this low lunge, pretty deep hip opener. Now, if you want to go on a little journey with me, we're going to take this into an arm balance called twig pose. So this means that the right arm and the right shoulder are going to wrap around the inside of the right foot, or the right leg. So the right hand ends up on the pinky toe side of your right foot. Hop your back foot forward a few inches. Walk your hands well beyond your right toes. Bend your right knee and move everything forward so you can pick up this back leg. Okay, so left leg in the air. Your hands are well beyond your right toes. Your head might be on the ground. Good. How's it going out there? Stupid pose. It's stupid. Okay, so come out of that. And then I want you to just have a seat on the ground and stretch your right leg forward. Let's give this right leg a little bit of love. So right leg forward, stretched out. Left leg is bent, left foot to right inner thigh for Janu Shirshasana. So extend the arms up, lengthen. And then as you exhale, let's fold over the right leg. So you're coming into this hamstring leg stretch here on the right side. Just pausing here for a moment, not striving too much, just noticing anything there is to be felt here in the right leg. Anything to notice, to pay attention to. Good. Take one more breath. And then let's go ahead and extend the arms back up, stretch up. And bring your left hand to the ground behind you. Stretch your right arm back. Maybe that's where you stay. Or you could actually lift up on top of your left knee and arch back. So you're weight bearing on your left hand and your left knee, reaching through the right arm and the fingertips. It's kind of like a variation of side plank here. And then come back down to your seat. Now, bring your hands behind you. You're going to plant the left foot on the ground with the knee up. Cross your right ankle over your left leg for a seated figure four. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of windshield wiper your knees side to side. Just a little opening for your right hip joint. Seated figure four. If this is too hard on the wrists or shoulders, you could come onto your back and take a reclined version of this, okay? A couple more breaths. Good, and let's uncross the legs, stretch the legs out in front of you and give them a little shake out. Perfect. All right, and I'm sure you've not forgotten that we have another side to do, so let's go ahead and go to downward facing dog. Happy Mother's Day! So downward facing dog, root down through your palms, strong belly, strong core. Take your left leg in the air, reach it up. Bend your left leg. Open your hip. So notice how that changes things a little bit in the stretch in the body. Step your left foot through warrior two pose, so you're grounding the feet. Find your lunge and extend out through the arms. So the arms are parallel with the ground. Good. Take another breath here. Torso upright, hips level. Arms come down, clasp the hands behind the back. Open up through the shoulders, lift up through the chest. Good, and we're gonna come into ostrich pose or that humble warrior. So dive down, left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Hands can always come down to the ground for support. Press through your feet, pull your thighs back a little bit. Let your shoulder kind of drop down toward the inside of that knee. Take another breath. Good, and then strong legs, strong core, come back up to warrior two. And then your left arm will go straight up alongside the ear. Bend your left elbow, hand to the upper back. Right hand comes over to the left elbow, and you're going to give a little pull back. Stretch through your tricep and your shoulder. Nice, you guys. Maybe that's where you stay, or drop your right arm down and see if you can clasp your hands behind your back and to arch your arms. Stay committed to that lunge, couple more breaths, lean it back, this variation of reverse warrior. Make sure you're breathing and then unwind out of that. Coming back to warrior two, straighten up your left leg. You might need to bring your stance in a little bit, maybe heel toe that back foot forward. Trikonasana or triangle pose, reach forward, lengthen, bring that left hand down toward the shin, right arm up. So it doesn't really matter how far your left hand comes down to the ground. What's more important here is the elongation of your spine, and that the right arm and shoulder is stacked over the left arm and shoulder. Good. Take another breath, reach through the right fingertips, open the heart, and then make your way into one more balance, Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. So shift your weight onto that left foot. Send your right arm and your right leg up like you got stuck in a cartwheel here on your side. So it's a lot easier to hold that right leg up if you engage your leg, reach through the leg, active, and extend it. Last breath. Good, you guys, right hand down and step it on back to your lunge. Come down to your right knee. Now let's take our time through this. Okay, so now your hands go to the inside of the left foot for a low lunge. That could certainly be where you stay. Or maybe you come down a little bit further to your elbows. Your forearms can drop down toward the ground. And or picking up your back knee. Okay, so let's just take a couple of breaths here, feeling into the left hip. Good. Now, if you want to work into that twig pose, you might bring that right knee down for a moment, and you're welcome to watch this through before you try it if you want. We're going to take the left arm and shoulder, wrap it around the inside of this left leg, so the right hand ends up on the other side, the left side of the foot. And then from here, I'm going to pick up my back knee and hop forward a little bit, okay? Hop the back foot forward. So see how high my hips are. They're not close to the ground at all. And then I'm going to walk my hands well beyond my toes, lift my left heel so that my knee can come forward, and my shoulders kind of push my knee forward toward the fingertips, lean forward, pick up the back leg. So you're kind of in a chaturanga arm position as the back leg lifts up. Okay, how are we doing? Did we get there? It's okay if you didn't. I love when I look up everybody's in fetal position pretty much. Basically every time. All right, release out of that. And then again, you're just gonna sit down. Okay, sit down on the ground, extend your left leg forward, bring the sole of the right foot to the inner thigh. So as the left leg extends forward, reach the arms up, stretch up tall, and then fold over your left leg, coming into what's called Janushasana, this one-legged seated forward fold. Just take your time, again, to feel whatever you're feeling this morning. Nothing forced, nothing aggressive. Good. Take another breath or two here. And then you're going to go ahead and come back upright. Stretch back up through your arms. Bring the right hand behind you and extend your left arm back. Maybe lifting up onto your right knee and your right hand and arching back. This variation, like a side plank or your heart opener. Good. Take one more breath here. And all the way back down to your seat. Good. And then point your right knee up. And you're going to cross left ankle over top this right leg for your seated pigeon or figure four stretch. And then a little bit of movement side to side here. Feeling into that left hip. Good. Come to a place where it feels like that optimal stretch for you. A couple more breaths. Good. And then let's go ahead and release out of that. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together in what's called Baddha Konasana, bound angle or cobbler's pose. Lengthen up through your spine, stretching up tall. Exhale, start to fold over the feet. So you can draw your heels a little bit closer to the groin, to target hip flexors, or maybe you shift your feet forward a little bit away from the groin to open up the outer hip. So you can kind of decide how close you want your heels to the groin, your choice. A few more breaths. Good. Last one here. And then start to make your way back up. And bring your hands to the outsides of the knees and guide your knees back together. Okay, so we are going to start to wind this practice down, and I'm going to give you a couple of options for this the next few minutes. The first option is to come into an inversion. So this is an upside down pose, and really it can be anything that elevates your hips higher than your heart. So it could be like a bridge pose on your back, elevating your hips, or it could be, you could even do something like this where you go up to a wall and just stretch your legs up the wall, right, like this. Even though your hips and your heart are on the same plane, that's kind of a restorative inversion. Or you could work with something like headstand or handstand or forearm balance. So I'm going to go ahead and talk you through headstand. You're welcome to try it. You can even go to a wall, or kind of do what you want to do. Okay, so if you're working with headstand, drop down to your elbows and your forearms. Elbows shoulder width apart. Clasp your hands and bring the top of the head down to the ground and hold the back of your head like a basket. Pull your shoulders away from your ears so you've got space. Pick up your knees and you're going to tiptoe forward towards your face, trying to stack your hips over your shoulders. Make sure you're not squeezing your shoulders towards your ears. Pull them away, contract them down away. Pick up one leg and reach toward the ceiling. Hold the back of the head with your hands. The other foot may come off of the mat. You can extend it up. Legs vertical and stacked over the hips and over the shoulders. And see if you can mimic mountain pose. So meaning everything's pretty aligned and stacked. You're not in extension or flexion of the spine. I like to flex my feet back. And after a few breaths here, you're welcome to just come back down to your knees and maybe come to child's pose for a few breaths. And you're welcome to try it again or work with a different kind. Take your time. And then there's no rush, but eventually you're going to come onto your back and just hug the knees in toward your chest. Bless you. Knees pull in and just rock side to side here. And you can maybe even circle the knees around, tracing a little pressure circle around your sacrum, your lower back. And then pause and go the other direction. Just finish up here with a supine twist. So let's let both knees just drop over to the right side. And you might stretch your left arm out to the left and maybe turn your head, your gaze to your left. Good, and then knees come back up and just switch sides. So the knees drop to the left. You could stretch your right arm out and gaze to your right for a few breaths. Release back up through center. And stretch the legs out to the floor. Reach the arms up and back. And then release the arms down along your sides. And just letting the body rest here for the last few minutes in Shavasana, corpse pose. And on this Mother's Day, I'd like to finish our practice with a loving kindness meditation. And this first round, I'd like for you to direct this mantra, this loving kindness prayer toward yourself. May I be safe and protected and free from inner and outer harm. May I be happy and contented. May I be healthy and whole to whatever degree possible. And may I experience the ease of well-being. Just 3 deep breaths here, allowing your body, your essence to really receive this loving kindness. And shifting our attention now to perhaps your mother or mother figure or whatever feminine, nurturing influences in your life. And direct this loving kindness mantra toward the mother. May you be safe and protected and free from inner and outer harm. May you be happy and contented. May you be healthy and whole to whatever degree possible. And may you experience the ease of well-being. Three deep breaths. Holding this mother or mother figure in awareness. Expanding one more time now to include all beings everywhere, without exception. May we all be safe and protected.
and free from inner and outer harm. May we be happy and contented. May we be healthy and whole to whatever degree possible. And may we all experience the ease of well-being. May we be at peace. May all beings be at peace. You are welcome to rest in Shavasana as long as you would like. When you feel ready, I would invite you to start to move a little bit through the body and begin that transition over to your side. Taking a moment in fetal position. And then all the way back up to your seat on your mat. On your next in-breath, extend the arms all the way up alongside your ears, stretch up. And then hands come together at the heart. Really beautiful practice, everybody. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning with particular gratitude for our mamas. We're going to finish our practice with one round of Om. If you'd like to join in, take a full breath in. Namaste.